Hey, this is Dr. George Birnbach, and I'm here today with Rochelle. Rochelle is one of the rock stars of the New Patient Academy. In fact, she's been at the top of the food chain. She's been at the top of the leaderboard so many times throughout her entire course that I'm really jazzed about having a few minutes with her. And Rochelle, you can hear me just fine, right?
Yes, I sure can. Thank you.
Perfect. Now, can you tell me a little bit about when you first started in the New Patient Academy and how you kind of wrapped your head around the game, what your mindset was moving forward, and how you got started?
So I actually started here about 4 or so years ago. So I've been doing this quite a while, which I think really helps with the experience end of things. Took a little sabbatical and thought the grass was greener on the other side, and then ended up coming back realizing that, wow, I really like this job. I'm really good at it, and it's a lot of fun, and we have a great time.
Oh, I love that. So let's just get a framework here, which is, at the New Patient Academy, we always tell people that we're averaging about 3 to 5 new patients a week, and we do so on about a 25-hour work week, and we ask people to get 1 to 2 events a week. But you've been at the top of the leaderboard so often and for so long consistently. What's your mindset? How many events are you trying to get in a month, and what's your mindset on scheduling patients?
So when I first started, this was a part-time position, and it was about 20 to 25 hours a week, and now it's more like a regular 40-hour-a-week job. In general, it kind of varies based off what's going on. What I try to do is always make sure I'm scheduling at least 2 events a week, or 3 if I can, so that in the weeks coming, there's always 2 to 3 weeks going on, events a week going on. So that way, in an average month, let's say there's, 3 weeks, 3 events per week. You're looking at about 18 events a month. So I really try to target, if I can, that 15 to 20 events per month, so that there's just always new patients coming down the pipeline, and we stay busy, and the clinic has fun, and everyone is making some money, hopefully.
Well, that's terrific. And a lot of hesitation when it comes to this position is about getting on the phone, utilizing scripts, and making contacts with our community. How have you gotten control of making the phone calls and getting the events? Has it been an easy system for you, more challenging? How did you overcome your roadblocks?
So that is definitely very, very important in the beginning. I think as you get more comfortable with your position and you start networking more in the community, especially in our area here in the Boise, Idaho area, it's kind of a smaller type of community where people kind of know who you are. So we go out to big events and we see, for example, Costco marketing, which is in most markets. They're constantly out in the community too, and then you develop a relationship with them where it's like, hey, let's go to coffee, and here's the events I'm going to, and here's the ones you're going to, and everyone can make a few less phone calls eventually and kind of help each other out, get into places that we would otherwise not get into. And so I think that has been one of the most important elements to long-term success, is building relationships with people and like, hey, you help me, I help you kind of a thing.
Well, I think that's great. And so in the beginning, you're hitting the phone all the time, but now you actually have these relationships that are driving your marketing calendar, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
And we try to always, let's say we're at a big outdoor event, in a park, we're always trying to get new leads. So we'll do a fishbowl drawing where it's like, hey, if you want to enter a raffle, we're going to give away a free employee massage day to someone's work, and we just really push that at events too. So we're constantly getting new leads for new places to go, and that works very well as well.
And so when we put the numbers on this, so people can get a sense of how productive this position actually is. The most number of events that you've done in a month is somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 25, but what's your best new patient numbers? How many new patients have you actually generated for the clinic in a 30-day period?
Oh, goodness. I'd have to go back and look for sure. I know in the past 6 months, my best month was June of 2016, and we had 63 new marketing patients, which is a lot of people.
That's a lot of people to process, yes. But what a great problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. May was about the same this year. It tends to be a little bit seasonal, so usually during the holiday time and like January, February, when people are recovering financially, we tend to be a little slower. Maybe it's 20 to 30 new patients, but we know that there's sometimes there's always a reward at the end of the tunnel. We know summertime it's going to pick up and be busy, and health fair season will always come back, and there's always just people coming through the clinic.
Well, now looking back on this, going back 4 years and seeing all the highs and lows, you pretty much have your year mapped out. But when you first see a new COA, a new outreach assistant coming into the job, what are the 3 keys to launch one into success, to launch a marketing person into success? Now, coming from you that have done this for 4 years, what are the 3 keys that if you could go back to accelerate yourself, what would you tell yourself?
Well, here's the thing. So I did some other marketing and sales jobs before this, and what I really, really love is the guidance of the whole program. So you literally get a binder and it says do X, Y, and Z and you'll be successful. And it's like, well, gosh, that makes it so simple. And so I did X, Y, and Z and I became successful. And then as I grew more into the position and kind of started networking and meeting people, it's like, then I really figured out like, wow, this part of the program is like super important and this is what I should focus on. And then just being efficient with time, making sure I try to always respect the fact that, my doctor's paying me to be here. So if I'm going to be here, I'm not going to be fooling around on the internet. Like, I'm here and I'm working, and I kind of have a work hard, play hard type of mentality. So it's like I'm either here working my tail off or I'm at home chilling or doing something fun. So I think that's something that some of the millennials these days don't quite understand, and I think that could definitely be a really important factor when considering who to hire.
Got it. And I always look at the single greatest skill to hire is someone who's fun to talk to, someone who people will want to engage. So it's a lot easier for that relationship, right?
Yes. So a personality who's bubbly, who likes to have fun. I'm pretty sure you guys.
And is still organized, right?
Yes, but that's the struggle. I think with this personality type is staying organized, but you guys give us all the tools that we need to do that and to track what we're doing and to make sure you're filling out your stats so that you can go back and look at it and say, well, gosh, I got 62 new patients in June. Like, that was pretty amazing. All I know is it was really busy and a crazy whirlwind, but we made it happen and everyone's super excited about it. So.
And that's great. And I know that Dr. Strickland has always been excited about you and always been excited about the program. But a lot of times I run into doctors who just aren't sure whether they could manage an external marketer or they could put together a system that wouldn't stress out their clinic. So what are the keys to working with the doctor in a way that he empowers you and you can do your work, but still give him the confidence that he doesn't have to micromanage or stay in control of that system?
Well, that's the beauty of this system is that there's a great, guide where it's like, hey, here's what you need to do in the beginning. Clearly, there's going to be some more investment of time to kind of get someone up and running. But once they're up and running, this really is a self-managed position, which is an environment that I really thrive in. And I think a lot of people do if they're given that, power to do so. And I think that's one of the things that he likes about me is that I'm so self-managed. He can leave me alone and he knows I'm not fooling around or whatnot. I'm just like getting stuff done and making things happen, and it shows in the numbers. And he's able to kind of back off and just check in with me and be like, "Hey, what's going on today? What's going on this week? How can I help you? I'm here to help, but let me go focus on my clinic and my new patients now that you just brought in."
Well, you're not joking when you say that your work is truly reflected in the numbers. It's been an amazing run to watch all of these statistic reports come across my desk with your name consistently at the top of the food chain. So anyone listening to this will absolutely take gem after gem and pearl after pearl, from the attitude that they should be looking for to the ability to follow the system and to the numbers that you bring in, which are just wonderful, especially at 60 new patients a month. So, hey, thanks for